Hello there and welcome to the Glow Up Method. This is the place where we talk all things life, living a life that we are individually proud of. Hi, my name is Natasha and I am truly so honored and blessed to be your host today. I was about to say, I'm going to be your guest today. I am going to be your guest. I'm going to be your guest in your home or in your car or on the park or on your walk. But hi there. Quite honestly, I didn't know if I could make it into this chair today. I just need to take a big sigh in and a big sigh out. I am feeling absolutely beat up, beat down, exhausted, overwhelmed, and I am on the struggle bus. I have been telling you that I've been feeling this way, and I just, it's at one of those moments where it feels like everything is bombarding from, like, I literally need to, bombarding at me from every which angle. And, like, I'm searching for, like, a relief, right? So I'm finding things that I'm comfortable with, like eating or watching TV. And I am kind of distracting, like, from it, like, I'm not a big drinker, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I don't do those things, so, like, those aren't options for me. I'm going for walks, I'm getting lost on Facebook, like, I'm tired, I make progress, but every single progress, like, it takes a lot out of me, because as soon as there's, like, one task completed, 20 more come up. And I feel like there's so many just loose ends and so many projects and so much uncertainty right now in my life. For a while there, I was living on the high and just like, yeah, YOLO OLO, I'm working on this relationship and things are great. And this is getting all my priority because I need to figure this out. Am I going to stay with him or am I not? And then prior to that, it was so much about, like, again, am I going to stay with him or am I not? And now it's actually doing the work. It's not just the thought of it. And, I find myself loving to be in his company. I feel safe and I feel secure. I don't feel alone. I don't feel as overwhelmed. And then, it's back to life and back to reality, right? So then we're not together and I'm faced with all the work and all the responsibilities and the picking up and all the things on me. And it's just too much for one person. Like, I feel like I'm at a breaking point. And, again, I have these 3 adult children living in the home, and, sometimes someone will contribute with, cooking a meal. Sometimes someone will contribute with maybe doing some dishes or maybe doing some laundry. But ultimately, I've been picking up a lot of the slack because, again, I'm feeling this guilt for the position that we're in. But then again, I'm picking up all of the financial slack, and I'm picking up a lot of the emotional slack for them. I'm trying to figure out my own emotions. There's the finances and the decision making, and the things that come up that you don't expect to come up, like, oh, suddenly Tyler had missed so much school when he had pneumonia. Oh, now he's not allowed to go to prom, so I need to send an email to his doctors and have some confirmation that no, he was sick, that's why he wasn't in a position to be able to go to school, attend school in person, and ask them. It's just, and it doesn't seem like it's a lot, but then you have to email the thing and you have to complete a form and do this, and you got to get this other insurance for something else, and you got to get this paperwork for this, and you got to change this into your name, and oh, by the way, Chris gets in an accident today. Like, there's just, it is overwhelming. Like, do you feel like that ever? And so, yeah, I want to come on here with like, that's what I want. That's who I am. That's where I feel the most at peace. But the truth is, that's not every day. Some days are like this, and I talk about it, and I'm blessed and I'm fortunate that most days aren't. I'm blessed and fortunate that even though I'm having a day like this, I could still feel grateful that, like, oh my gosh, at first I was like about to write something like, I have to pay this, I have this. And I said, no, I get to. Like, still, this really sucks. Like, in the scheme of life, it's not what I would like to be doing. But on the same term, I'm alive. I'm breathing, I get to do this thing. And, you know, so doing those little bit of reframing, a little bit of mind hacking and tricking and perspective giving to realize, yes, even though in this, and this day was like exemplifies like my feelings exactly. It's a little bit warm. It's really kind of quiet. There's like a blue sky, but beneath the blue skies are these like clouds. It's a very mixed day. It's like it wants to come out and be sunny, but there's just these gray clouds that are like, no, we're just not having it today. And that's kind of how I feel. And it's one of my friends at the gym. It's her birthday. And you know, I quite honestly, I don't even want to go to the gym. Like, quite honestly, like, I have been eating so much. I feel like trying to like fill in these voids, eating crap I don't usually eat. Cause again, it was kind of like almost like Chris and I like dating. Like, let's go have these adventures. Let's go eat. Let's go do this. Let's, you know, have this time. And it was really exciting. But I'm eating, I'm drinking a lot of soda, which I don't usually drink. I'm just kind of splurging to kind of fill this void of emptiness and this void of overwhelm and anxiety that I'm suddenly feeling again when it had been so long since I had felt like this in this degree. And you know, now of course it's impacting my sleep, and it here comes to the gym, and I still have this injury that's like, you know, been provoked again, and I can go or I could not go, but it's my friend's birthday, so I really want to go to celebrate her, but I'm also not in a great mood. And so I'm not like, I'm like a big like, hey, happy birthday, you know, like I will do it, but like I am just not feeling like good and positive and energetic, and I'm not representing the way I want to and the way I feel like most moments. Like, I am representing how I feel right now, and that's an unfamiliar place for me. I'm not used to walking out in the world and being like, I'm sad, I'm overwhelmed, I'm tired, whatever it is. I'm used to being that chipper, happy person, and I like it. And it's not for anyone else. And I mean, sometimes, like, you know, like I say, it's somebody's birthday. I'm not going to come in and ruin the parade. But I just feel so blah. And so, you know, I sit here and I'm like, you know, I do have this arsenal built up of, you know, episodes of, you know, things like that. And I was like, no, we're not going to only do the whole thing. The point of this is to be vulnerable and honest and come on here when we're having the best days and we're having challenging days. And the real glow up is understanding and facing the fact that today is a crappy day. Like, today is a challenging day. Today's a day I don't want to. I don't want to film. I don't know what to talk about. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to clean. Like, I tell you all the time, my room is a reflection of what's going on inside. My room is a disaster. My son came in yesterday and was like, you want to live like this? You know, like being like me to him, right? And I was like, this, I know. And yet I have no motivation to pick up the towel I just showered in from the ground, right? Like, I just am not, my robe is on the ground. I need to go wash it now. Like, these things, like, I'm just blah. I'm not feeling good. So if I turned the camera around, you would see what was reflected on the inside. It's a mess. And here's the thing. That's what it is. First, like I said in the beginning of this thing, when we're in these kind of situations, we got to get back to the basics. We just got to figure out how to breathe, like, and know, like, whatever we're doing is our best. Whatever we're doing, if the best we can do is rest, then that's what we're going to do today. And I start thinking to myself, because I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, is this happening? Because bodies in motion stay in motion and bodies at rest stay at rest. I've, you know, since October cut my steps literally 50%. I'm, you know, was really nursing my injury and making sure it didn't come back again after taking that, you know, shot. I was hoping to elongate its efficacy on me. I've integrated more coffee. I was so tired. I literally just grabbed out a coffee right now from my fridge. maybe this will help me have a little bit of energy so I can at least work out, because that usually helps me to feel a little bit better. But I have no desire to do steps. I don't even want to lay because laying down hurts me. So like there's just nothing, like there's just kind of no real relief. Even when I go to sleep, I'm waking up again with anxiety and discomfort. Or I'm waking up because I'm, sharing my bed, which I actually was saying last on Thursday nights, I sleep at home. He sleeps at his home because he has a meeting in the morning, and I take my son in the morning and I say, you know what, I'm just going to sleep at home. But, I was just thinking before I sat here, I was like, it's so funny how like 6 months ago, I preferred sleeping alone, but now I prefer sleeping with someone. So, it's just all so much. So, but what I say is the true glow up, the secret sauce to the glow up is not showing up when it's easy. Like that's easy to do. It's showing up on days like today where it's tough and you don't want to, but you do it anyways and you get through it and you understand like this may not be the episode of all episodes, but I came and I did it. And, I had there've been great things. I cooked with one of my sons today. We had a great conversation, he's at a crossroads again, making these decisions, trying to figure out which avenue is the best thing to go for him. And he said, and then I start to think like, in my mind, and I don't really worry, but I do worry, like all of a sudden your thoughts come into my mind. Like, what are you going to think I need to do? What is my sister going to think? What are these other people going to think? And I said, at the bottom line, Dylan, I am proud of you and I love you and I support you. And like I say to you guys, I said exactly to him, life is literally a game. It is a game. The cool thing about this game is it's not made by anybody else. We think it is. We think we're playing someone else's game so many times. We have these rules that, you must go to school these days. You must go to school these years. You must get a job and go to work these hours. There's all these rules out there. And somewhere along the line, we get this belief that we have to follow those rules. Those are the rules of the game. And what we forget is we have the power. This is our game. This is the game of Natasha. This is the game of you. You get to make the rules. You get to make any adjustments, any choices, any decisions. And yes, there will be consequences and there will be benefits to those decisions, right? You lay in bed, you do nothing. There's a benefit, right? Maybe that refuels my soul, but there's also a consequence. The room stays a mess and things don't get done. I feel bloated from eating too much. Like, there's so many different things. So you have to decide what it is for your life. And like I said to him, that's the thing. It is your life. And when we live our life, and I said, I tell you this because it only was until the last year that I really started to understand this concept, is that by caring so much about other people and how they felt and what they wanted, I started to forget to listen to myself and check in with myself and take care of myself and see what is it I want and I need. Being a mom puts you in a tricky role, right? Like for me, I'm one of those people that was like, you have to put your kids first. Like that's the priority. And I have, and I do. And right now you're in this tricky phase because here we are, like you're adults and you can be contributing to a really difficult situation. But yet I am not forcing it. I'm not really directly asking for it. And they're not volunteering it. So we're at this position, and in the midst of it, as I am entering into the time of life where I am supposed to be becoming, where I can be financially supportive of myself, I'm giving everything I have to them. And then still more, because I'm giving more and more and more. And because I want to be a good mom, I want to be able to provide for them. But this is more than my means. I'm putting out job applications. I'm not getting anything back. It's nothing personal. I haven't been in the job market in a long time. It's a really tough climate out there. I have a really tricky schedule because I have kids that have no cars and no way of getting to school and back and things like that. My youngest one, I'm not going to disrupt his life entirely. It's already a little bit of a mess. He's currently, right now as we speak, in his own personal therapy session, so like, there is a lot going on and it's understandable. Like I give myself grace. Like There's no question anymore. Like, why are you breaking? I know why you're breaking. You're tired, but yet there's no time to lay down. Every time I lay down, it's like, but there's so much to be done, and there's so much that needs to get done in order just to, in a sense, turn on the lights for that day, right? Because the lights have to go on. Our electricity bill is astronomical. There's a lot of people in the house. There's a lot of, our appliances aren't, the most energy efficient anymore, right? They're older. So it's an exhausting time of life, and I know I'm going to get through it. That's what gives me the grace, is the remembrance of other times in which I was in struggle. And yet, no matter what struggle was, I still found my way to October where I was the happiest in my life. Even though there were some really chaotic things happening, I was really happy. I was really settling into who I was. Yeah, my life got flipped up, turned up, upside down, partially by my own doing, partially by Chris's doing, partially by my children, partially by whatever. You can blame whoever. I can only be accountable for what I've done and what things happen that led to that, and how I personally responded to those situations. And so it's a real tricky time for me. And so I understand for you, it may be a really tricky time for you. And I want you to know that that's okay. Like, you're totally normal for that. And there's so many resources. The beauty is, I know that I can reach out. Like today, I went to one of my kids and I was like, hey, I could really use a hug. That's a new concept for me. Before I felt like, okay, I'm not allowed to feel like I need a hug. I'm not allowed to ask for a hug. Like, it's just, you're the strong one. You're the one that needs to keep going. And, I did stuff. I procrastinated. I didn't want to deal with things. And now I have to deal with the consequences of those choices. Was that the best decision at the time? Yes. That was the decision I made. And that's what happened, and now we are where we are, and we have to just respond and understand and have faith that everything is going to happen exactly as it's supposed to happen and when it's supposed to happen. It may not be on my timeline, and that's unfortunate, but it will get resolved and it will get taken care of. And so I'm happy for that. And I'm just overall grateful to get to sit in this chair. And I'm grateful that I have the courage to come on here and be vulnerable. I hope it allows you to see that it is okay to not be okay. Like, it is okay to have a headache and be tired and feel like life is giving you a little bit more than you can handle at this time. Amidst of it, there's been wins, right? My car was broken, but now it's not. And my kids are healthy and they're all here. And, there is a roof overhead. There's food on the table there. There's so many beautiful blessings that could be grateful for in this moment. And I am. I get to go, if I choose, to go dance with my friends. If I choose to stay home and relax, I get to do that too. I originally was like, yes, because last weekend, I wasn't feeling well. I gave myself a little detox. I was really excited to get out and go do things. And I don't know, I don't know if I want to, I don't know what I really want to do. I don't want to go out and just keep pushing the can down the road, but I also don't want to sit here and ruminate and all the things I should be doing. So I don't know what exactly the weekend's going to hold for me. If something, I wake up tomorrow and I'm like, hey, this is what I want to do. That's what it's going to do. But I'm just kind of okay with it being not okay and not necessarily having a plan for every single second, and just kind of understanding that right now I need to really listen to what's my experiences. I need to really listen to what's going on inside. I have my own appointments next week. It's going to be a busy week. I have a lot going on. I finally got everything over, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, please hope and pray with me, that send good juju out there, whatever it is you do, positive thoughts. I need it all. I sent over everything that they said they needed to get my loan out of suspension. So, come on, mama, bring mama a new loan over here. She needs it, so I can just take a sigh of relief and know that I get this project done, so that I can focus my attention on other things. And if not, I have to now, my plan B option, I am figuring out, is not a plan B option. So I need to start thinking of a plan C and a D in case the loan doesn't go through as I would want it to. So fingers crossed, all that will go seamlessly and smoothly, and we can be on the road again to this growth journey, and I know I'm growing in the challenges. That's the beauty of it, right? We talk about this all the time, is like from our struggles is where we get our greatest strength. I know I will get through this. Why do I know this? Because I've gotten through much worse. Like I've gotten through, supporting a son with a brain tumor, supporting a son with open heart surgery, much worse, right? At the end of the day, it's money and I'll figure it out. Even though it's challenging and overwhelming and it's a lot going on, but we'll get there. And I know that like getting, to this rock bottom place in which I'm at is sometimes the places like where the best glow ups happen, right? Like it's where people decide to no longer, they decide to enroll in an anger management class. They decide to go back to school. They decide to break up with that person that has the unhealthy, toxic traits. They decide to, focus on themselves. They decide to stop drinking. It is at the rock bottoms that the most beautiful changes happen. The most beautiful revelations, when you are stripped raw and naked and everything you have is gone. It is this beautiful opportunity to rebuild and grow. And, I love that. I love that in a sense because everything I had built in so much of my life was built on this shaky, anxious, unsure, unconfident foundation. And so now I have this opportunity to really regroup and rebuild financially. I've done it physically. I'm doing it. It's a process. I'm never going to be undone doing it, but like mentally and spiritually, all those things. So I say all this to say, I think I know the answers, right? Like, I think I know the answers. It's just going to take time for things to play out and see what's going to happen and have this ability to adapt and ebb and flow to the circumstances that present themselves. I can get shaken down. I can get, I can be disappointed, but I can rebuild and glow up still, regardless of what's happening. And so even through the course of this episode here, I feel like beyond maybe the coffee hitting me a little bit, but I feel this sense of being able to talk it out and being able to realize things and shift the perspectives and remember all the things that I'm experiencing is not I have to experience this, is I get to experience this, and where are the lessons. And it's okay to sit here and not want to be here, and it's okay to not be excited to sit in this chair, but it doesn't mean I'm not feeling great and happy to do it, right? Like it is a testament to my discipline and my consistency and who I am at my core that I'm able to show up even when I don't want to. And that's what I want in a relationship. That's what I want in any kind of partnership. And that's what I want you to expect of me, is I'm going to show up for you just as you show up for me. And I appreciate that. And we show up as a community within the glow up community, and more importantly, within the glow up of the world. Within the glow up of the world. Our behavior, our choices, our actions make a difference. We make a difference. And yeah, some days we're not at that peak energy flow, but that's okay. Because I know that, like with everything in life, it comes and goes. It comes in waves. And so maybe a low point, I may be at like a low tide, and that's okay. But when it's low tide, it exposes all those things you don't see. It shows the grit. It shows the determination. It shows it gives you a time to sit back and reflect even deeper during the meditations and understand what it is and where we're going on the next path. So like I told my son Dylan, there is no wrong choice. Your choices are yours. And I know you care about us, and people will share their opinions and their beliefs and their wisdom with you. But it's your rules of your life you're creating. So you get the option to choose what things you listen to and you integrate into your life. It could be a sprinkle of something from mom, a sprinkle of something from Kobe Bryant, a sprinkle of something from a teacher, a sprinkle of something from a friend. You take all these things, all these lessons, all these stories, and you put them together like this magnificent food recipe creation, and you make it your own. I'm not living the life of somebody else. This is my life. My name is Natasha Russo. and this is my life, and I have 4 amazing kids. And I am so grateful that my husband and I are deciding to take a third chance at love. And I'm really proud of us. And I understand that to get to that decision, it had a lot of financial implications, and maintaining 2 households when we could barely maintain one in the first place, it's an extra burden. But I do know we'll get through it. And I do know that because we had this experience and know that even though it wasn't the easiest option, we chose one another, I will feel good about it because I'm creating the life I want to live in this game of life of mine. And I want you to do the same. And I want you to know that, yes, not every day I'm going to come on here chipper and chapper, but that's the point. I am always here to be open, honest, and vulnerable with you. So I say all of this to say thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for being a part of my Glow Up community. Thank you for being the inspiration to get me out of bed and to get me seated here in this chair, because that's going to make, when I walk by my robe and when I walk by the towel, when I walk by these things that are reflecting kind of the mess that's on the inside and I put them away, that I know that it's because I have this momentum. I have this ability to say, even though I don't want to, I can do this today. I may not be out running a marathon, I may not do other things, but I can pick up the robe and I can pick up the towel on the ground. And if that's all I can do today is sit in this chair, do those things, then that's a great day. That's fine. That's where I am today. So be good to yourself. Breathe when you get in these situations. Know that you're doing your absolute best. And I'm so proud of you. Thank you for showing up. Please today, go out there, give yourself a big smile, give yourself a compliment. Like today, my compliment is going to be like, I am really proud that even though you didn't want to, you did. And that really means a lot. Like, it makes me want, like, tear up. Like, even though I didn't want to, I did. And so that means that the next time I don't want to, I can do. And I'm glad I did this. Like, there's no regrets or remorse about doing it. I'm so glad. So it will remind me and build up this muscle of knowing I can do things I don't want to do, right? Like, life isn't always about what we want to do. And even on days when it's really challenging. And then secondly, when you are so overflow with and you want to feel a real beautiful glow up, I challenge you to go out there and give somebody else a big smile and give them a compliment. And honestly, you'll watch how they glow up. You see how yourself glows up when you say something nice, how your eyes twinkle and you smile bigger because you know what you've accomplished. And then to give somebody else that gift, because they may not be watching. They may not even think about looking in the mirror and giving themselves a compliment or a smile. And maybe you're the only smile that they'll see in that day, or maybe you're the only compliment they'll receive in that month. And maybe that's exactly what they needed to hear at exactly the right time. Just like the situations that have happened in my life where, like I said, somebody just said, I deserve to be happy. And it was at that right time in that right place. And it changed my life. So you can not only change someone else's life, you can also change. Well, not only can you change yours, but you can also change somebody else's. Like, you don't know what somebody else is going through. So I say all this to say thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so proud of you. I appreciate you. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And it's okay if you're not okay. So take care. Bye.